Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today in this video I'll be doing another album review. Today's another live album, but it's classed as one of their best. Today it's Deep Purple Made in Japan, which is from 1972. Oh god, I need to sneeze, hang on. Never mind, I've taken it back. Right, yeah, this is honestly such a great album. I found this in Vinyl Tap, I think, for like £7-8, which is great because, I mean, obviously there's ring wear around the side and all that, but everything plays perfectly fine. And here you've got the front and the back. This is the Mark II lineup even, I should say, which is obviously the best one. It's a double album, so is it fairly? I'm pretty sure it's fairly long. Sorry, I need to sneeze again. And this is the inside, which I think is pretty cool, kind of like the Japanese flag as it's in Japan. Which has just got a track listing, and someone, obviously this is second hand, someone's written Makepeace all over it, which I'm agreeing with them, but didn't have to write it all over this great album. It's with the purple label, I think, the Deep Purple label. You can kind of see it that way. There you go, that's the one. But yeah, it's a great album, and definitely the best. But yeah, 1972, this was recorded over 2 nights, I think. One was in Osaka, and the other one Tokyo. Yeah, it was 2 nights. Oh no, sorry, 3 nights. Which was 16th, 17th, and... no, 15th, 16th, 17th of August, 1972. But anyway, it opens up with Highway Star, as per usual. This, in my opinion, is the second best version they did of Highway Star that's been released. The first... my personal favourite being the one from Perfect Strangers tour from 1974, the very beginning of the tour. But this is just absolutely amazing. The screams that Ian Gillan does and the organ solo just blows you away. It is absolutely amazing. Like, it's because they extend it out so it's just even longer, and just all the glory of John Lord doing all his piano skills, really, not organ skills. And then obviously we've got the Highway Star solo, which is the highlight, probably, because everyone loves that part anyway, the very fast part, or the whole solo in general. And I have to say, everyone on this album is just on point. Everyone is just perfect in this. There's not a bad song at all on it. After that, you've got Child in Time, which is, and obviously Highway Star is better live than the studio version, that's my opinion, but you know. You got Child in Time, which this version, once again, I think is better than the studio version. It is a magnificent 10-minute masterpiece. And Ian Gillan's vocals, oh my god, like, it is just mind-blowing how he can... I think he gets to like an A5 or something, which is insanely hard to get to without just destroying your voice. And, well, I mean, eventually they'd have to have throat surgery, vocal surgery and stuff, but we don't talk about that. But at this point anyway, it was just outstanding. It's just amazing. The instrumental section, once again, brilliant. Amazing guitar solo by Richie. And it's just a great song in general anyway. Like, the lyrics are great, instrumental parts are great, instrumentation, all that, it's just brilliant. On side 2, then you go into Smoke on the Water, which they played pretty close to the actual original version. I wouldn't say there's a better or worse version. Probably say the original's better just because of the way it is. Obviously, it's a great song, but definitely overplayed, and definitely because people know them by Smoke on the Water. They're like, oh, it's a great song, but Deep Purple have other great songs that are probably better than Smoke on the Water. Don't get me wrong, Smoke on the Water is a great song, but they have better songs. I mean, even on this album, this is probably, apart from The Mule, this is probably the weakest song on the album. Well, maybe Space Trucking, but still, you know, it's still a great song, and they play it pretty close. I mean, there's an organ solo at the end, but it's not very long. But apart from that, it's pretty much just the same as the studio version. Still a great song, but it's nice to listen to anyway, and nice to sing along to it, because it's the one song where Ian Gillan's vocals are very different to anything else that he sings. It's quite low down for him, actually, quite husky in his voice. Then The fourth song on the second song on side 2 is The Mule, which is a drum instrumental, or drum solo even. It has a nice riff, it has a bit of singing in it. Never really paid too much attention to this song. It was a brilliant drum solo, but it's just definitely the weakest song on the album, obviously because it's from Fireball, which, actually no, there's 2 songs from Fireball on this album, but it is very good drum solo, obviously by Ian Pace. Nearly forgot his name then for a second, don't know how I forgot that, but once again, there's not much to say about it because it's a drum solo, but there's some lyrics in it, so Ian Gillan isn't sat there the whole time. But yeah, and then you move on to side 3, which is Strange Kind of Woman, which is an amazing song from Fireball again. Amazing solos on this one as well. Great singing, amazing bass. I'd also like to say for Smoke on the Water, on this version, when you play it through headphones, when the bass comes in, oh my god, it is the best thing ever, because it's so like punchy and so gravelly and just hits you hard. It's the same with things like Strange Kind of Woman and stuff, like it just hits you, and it is just an amazing song. And the beginning bit, well, the middle bit where Ian Gillan and Richie Blackmore are doing like, they're alternating with doing phrases and stuff, it's really cool. And then it just builds up and then goes back into it. And then Ian Gillan does a scream at the end, which lasts like about 10 to 15 seconds, which is just mind-blowing. Gets the whole crowd going. Then you go, the second song on side 3 is Lazy, which just shows how brilliant John Lord is at the Hammond organ, where he has an intro where it's just him for like 2.5 minutes just soloing and stuff. It's really cool, making really interesting sounds from his keyboard, and just builds it up until Richard Blackmore comes in and eventually starts off Lazy, which is just an amazing riff in general. It's so fun to play and very well organised and like constructed, the way it is the song in general. Obviously it goes into it and then have a nice little breakdown towards the end, which is quite, they play some funny licks and stuff like that. And it's just a great song in general. Obviously, I don't know if I prefer the live version or the studio version, but they're both great anyway. Then you move on to side 4, which it's only one song on side 4. It takes up the whole side, and it's Space Trucking, because I think it's about 17 minutes long. Now this is great. I mean, it obviously has lots of different parts where basically like John Lord will have a solo and Richard Blackmore will have a solo. I mean, they play the beginning part and the ending, and obviously you've got a little bass solo. Pretty sure. Well, you do, yeah. But it is brilliant. But the only thing I'd have to say, it is quite long. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect as it is. But on other versions, on Spotify, you can have things like, there's 2 song like bonus tracks, which is Speed King and Lucille. And personally, I would have liked them to kind of cut or taken a different time they played Space Trucking, which was a shorter version. So then you could have Speed King on the end, because I think that would work really well. Because that version of Speed King is just amazing. Maybe not have Lucille. I mean, if there's enough space, then yeah, have Lucille. But just have Speed King on, it'd be really good. But apart from that, it is definitely about a 9 out of 10 album. Maybe I'd replace The Mule with something like, or maybe that was Speed King, or something else like, I don't know. Obviously, at the time, Machine hadn't come out yet, but they're promoting a few things from that. Maybe I'd have something like Into the Fire, sort of something like that, or Bloodsucker, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's called Bloodsucker. But yeah, that's about it. Definitely listen to this album if you want to get into Deep Purple, as it will open the doors to listen to the studio albums and all that. So, Rich Allen back over there. But yeah, don't forget to leave your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, and thank you for watching. Sorry there's been a bit of delay in videos. Joseph's gone to university now and I'm working, so yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.